Usually these bonus episodes, we just kind of go right into talking. But given that Brian is out this week, I think it's worth mentioning that Eric Magill is back with me. Tug?
Yes, that is me. I will be Brian today. Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for doing this and jumping in, pinch hitting for us. We were talking about Demolition Man last week. Did you happen to have any extra thoughts that just didn't make it to the tape? Or did we pretty much cover it all?
I think we pretty much covered it. I can't remember thinking I left anything on the cutting room.
So that means that your video that you put out in a few months is just going to be rehashed.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is that what I'm hearing?
No, I still have to do a bunch more research before I get into it.
Yeah,
so we'll see how that goes.
How much research goes into these videos? I mean, it seems like for any of you who have not gone to the Unapologetic Geeks YouTube channel like we've been urging you to do, a lot of work put into those. You can just tell because nobody knows the stuff that you're putting out there. It's crazy.
I appreciate that. I try my hardest not to just be like a recitation of Wikipedia, because there's a lot of channels that do that, that'll like take a movie and just like talk. And I have nothing against that. That's fine if you want like just a brief overview of a movie. I don't care. You can do that if you want. I just want to do more than that because I'm a film nerd. I went to film school. I almost became a filmmaker for a while. I'm fascinated by all the little ins and outs and the behind the scenes stuff. Like I'll buy a movie and I'll watch all of the special features and maybe I'll watch the actual movie. I don't know. So I'm that kind of guy. So I do that because that's the way I want to do it. So
just fun. Yeah.
Yeah. And the longer I do this, the more like resources I find that can make it easier for me to find rare and weird information that most people don't know.
Okay.
So, yeah,
I was wondering where you pull this stuff out of. Just out of
it really depends on the movie.
Out of the ether.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was watching your one on Johnny Mnemonic recently, and that is where I first heard that you went to film school. Where did you go?
Well, I went to the University of Florida, which had a film school at the time that was about 20 people. So it was very small.
Right. Yeah.
But I had great teachers. And because it was so small, all the resources were pretty much there for all of us. Like we didn't have to fight over like, the editing table, or because we had the old school, like taping film together, editing suite and stuff like that.
Who gets the camera rented out this week?
Right. We didn't have to worry about that kind of stuff. So
I've got my final this week. I need to make sure that I've got a camera rented for X amount of hours from this day to that day.
Whereas I feel like if I'd gone to a more in-depth film school like at FSU, which was Florida State University, which actually has like a gigantic film school, I probably would have gotten lost in the shuffle. And at the end of the year, every school year, we would have like a showing of all 20 of those final videos that we made in school. And like the fact that I was in this small film school means that everybody would get their film showed. So that was pretty cool.
I was going to say the other thing that means is that you have a student film out there somewhere.
I do, yes. It's called 1-800-CALL-JESUS.
Is it up anywhere that I could go watch that?
I've thought about putting it online, but I haven't done that yet. No, it's one of those things where like I'm both proud of it and deeply ashamed of it.
People know what their film school things are. If people saw my college portfolio, it would just... I mean, people aren't impressed with my portfolio now. So just imagine what my college portfolio would look like.
My student project, it's all found footage. Like I decided to do something with found footage. And the way I did it was I set up my VCR, because this was the 90s. Yeah. I set it up to record all night long. And in the 90s on TV at like 3:00 in the morning was just tons and tons of fucking infomercials. You had the guy with question mark vest telling you how to cheat the government out of taxes and shit.
I remember that guy.
Yeah. Everybody remembers that guy.
I'm Matthew Lesko, and my new book will tell you how to tell bill collectors to go shopping.
He made it into my movie. And as I came across this one, it was basically commercialized Jesus. It would call and talk to a pastor about Jesus and stuff, like...
Yeah, like Robert Tilton or somebody.
Basically, something like that. Yeah. And I just turned it into a whole thing where I changed the phone number to 1-800-CALL-JESUS. And then I edited in a bunch of crazy shit. I wrote some music and a little jingle for calling Jesus, and I don't know, I had a whole lot of fun with it. Just lampooning infomercials, which is like the easiest thing in the world to make fun of.
This definitely deserves to see the light of day.
I'll think about it.
Call now and get free money to pay your bills.
I gotta tell you, my love of Taco Bell is reflected best by an incident that occurred in the late winter. I had received a box on my doorstep, and this box, it had my address on it, but it was addressed to somebody who does not live. And I thought, okay, well, there's been some sort of mistake. And I kept this box for a few weeks, and I looked at this box ponderously day after day after day. And eventually I was like, I'm going to try to send this back. But before I did, I was like, I should look inside this box. And I opened the box, and inside the box was a Taco Bell hoodie.
What?
That it turns out was for me from Taco Bell.
Because you were that popular customer?
Because I am that good a customer.
Oh my God.
Because I'm a great Taco Bell eater, but not great enough that they get my name correct on the box.
So that would have made the ending of 7 very different.
What's in the box?
Yeah. Nate, I know I said I was going to try to watch the Pizza Hut international cut of this movie.
Yeah, right.
Which is on the Arrow 4K edition.
All right.
That I obtained last year. Well, my son fell asleep in my room here, so I wasn't able to utilize the 4K player, so I had to go downstairs. Fortunately, I also have my original DVD copy of Demolition Man, and I was able to just pop that bad boy in. Now, I couldn't figure out how to turn the subtitles off on it at the point.
Subtitles? You having trouble understanding Sylvester Stallone? Is that?
Yeah, actually, it's funny. So do the subtitles, as it turns out. The subtitles cut out so much of his dialogue. It's funny. It just boils it down to like, it's like the subtitles take the Hemingway approach to the script for Demolition Man. It cuts out all the dross, doesn't keep any of the flowery stuff in. What do you got
taco,
there,
man? Have you never seen a taco before?
This taco has both the hard shell and the soft taco.
Does it have the cheese? The cheese around it?
I mean,
like the glue that holds it together.
Yeah, like glued together with cheese. It doesn't look like it.
Doesn't have that.
Doesn't look like it.
I can't believe we are in real time just watching somebody discover a double stack taco for the first time. Although it's been sitting there for so long, they're probably both soft at this point.
Oh, that's probably true. I like my Taco Bell flaccid.
For that to work.
A dystopia or a utopia?
I would call this a dystopia of the highest order.
I guess it depends on who you ask.
Yeah, I guess so.
Honestly, the people underground, obviously, they hated it, but everybody living their life seemed to like it just fine. You know,
the guys underground are eating well.
Yeah.
This
is the second movie in a row that we've watched with you where people are eating rats.
That's right.
Oh yeah.
I love that he finds out that it's a rat burger and he's like,
and he just keeps eating it.
All right. Yeah. And he just kind of keeps chomping. Because a lesser movie would have had him be like, okay, and walk a couple steps and retch and like spit it out. Or like just quietly chuck the rest of the burger. But the next time we see him, he's like shoving the rest of it into his mouth with his thumb.
Yeah.
Like, this man not only committed to eating the burger, he loved that burger.
Yeah.
Rat meat be damned. He didn't even ask what the beer was.
He saw his meal at Taco Bell, yeah.
Yeah, you just saw his meal at Taco Bell. Given the option. Now the question is, which would be the better rat? The rat burger made underground or
whatever that slop was in Free Jack is definitely worse than the rat burger.
I don't know. That was Thanksgiving Day, right? That was a Thanksgiving meal.
That was the quality meat. That was the best meat. That was the best they had. I'm taking the burger. 100% taking that. That burger was
Dennis Leary is the boss down there. You know, they like poured whiskey on that burger. You know, it's got to be delicious.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, we didn't get to see the rat with the special sauce on it in Free Jack. Remember, you had to have the right sauce. But
right.
Okay. Yeah, I'll go for the burger too. How old was Sandra Bullock in this movie?
Oh, she was not old.
What, 27?
This was like her first action movie.
This was her first big thing, wasn't it?
Yeah. I think
Well, that's what we decided, yeah.
Because it predates Speed by a year, and then The Net came after that, right?
Oh, yeah. I got to cover that movie, too.
The Net, yeah.
The Net.
There's a movie I have not seen since the theater in 1995.
Me either.
That's okay.
I have to cover all 5 of these cyber films from 1995, and that just happens to be one of them. It's the one I'm looking forward to the least. So
there was a lot of good. What else he do? Strange Days.
Strange Days. That's the last one. That's the one I'm looking forward to the most.
That's a good one. Yeah.
There's Virtuosity.
Oh God, Sid 6.7.
Yeah. Johnny Mnemonic, which I already covered.
Oh,
and
nice.
then I'm missing Hackers. Obviously, Hackers.
Okay. Yeah. Man, Virtuosity was the first Russell Crowe.
Russell Crowe. That was Russell Crowe's American debut.
Yeah. I watched your video on Johnny Mnemonic, and I remember thinking that the dolphin looked like paper mache.
Oh, the dolphin looks like ass. Yeah,
that's the one thing that I remember taking away from that. I was like, why is there that dolphin looks horrible? And then the other cool thing was like that weird laser whip.
The laser whip
thing
that he pulls out of his finger. Yeah, that's like the coolest thing.
That was kind of cool. But outside of that, yeesh.
Yeah, it's not a great movie. But, I gave it as much charity as I could in my video. I just recently finished my video on Superman 4, and I couldn't muster that kind of charity.
Oh, my God. There's only one cool thing in Superman 4.
The Nuclear Man.
No.
With Gene Hackman's voice, yeah.
Okay, well, yeah, that is cool. I think the only cool thing in Superman 4, and this is when I saw it, 89, 90, when was it?
It was 87.
87. Okay, so I saw this movie for the first time when I was about 8 years old. And even then, I was like, there was only one, that strand of Superman's hair in the museum that's holding up a giant weight.
Yeah.
That's great. That is a cool idea. It is not a movie.
No, it's a terrible fucking
You don't like the fact that when you get scratched by the Nuclear Man, it gives you a cold?
And you almost die?
Yeah, he's just basically, you get scratched on the neck by the Nuclear Man's nails, and then he gets like a cold.
Scratched on the neck by the Nuclear Man's nails.
We didn't think we were going to say that during Demolition Man, did we? Well, like I said, we're probably following or will be followed by some of our conversation on Demolition Man. But one of the things that we've taken to in doing these bonus episodes is a game that I'm hoping may at some point, when I can get all the wrinkles out of it, maybe a spin-off podcast that I call Spoiled Tomatoes.
It's a great title.
Yeah, it is. It is because the premise to this thing, and some listeners may already know this, but the premise would be to have two hosts that would then discuss a movie in front of someone who has not seen that movie.
Oh, okay.
So they have it spoiled for them based on the review of the two people that are talking about the movie. The third person is in the conversation. So it's not just one, right? And by the end of that, the person that's not seen the movie must guess the tomato score.
Okay.
And then we would have rotating guests on the show and kind of have a tally by the end of the season to see who won. So I'm just kind of testing it out.
That's a good premise. I like it. Yeah.
I like it too. I don't know if it's working yet, though. It's good to try with somebody else and not just Brian. And of course, you've seen the movie. That's the big difference between where I would like to go with this and where we've been doing ones that you clearly already watched and discussed. But here, I'll run down the rules for you real quick.
Okay.
Oh, what are the rules? What are the rules? What are the rules? What are the rules?
Okay, so Spoiled Tomatoes, certain ways to score points. The first is a quick question as to whether the movie is certified fresh or not. That would be worth 1 point. Then you determine, is the audience score or the critic score higher? And if you get that right, that's 2 more points. Now, if you can guess within 10 percentage points of the actual score, that's 5 points. And if you can guess within 3 percentage points of the actual score, that's 10 points.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So that's probably where it ends. However, in the event that you nail it exactly, it's a 20-point score. And if you somehow get the audience score and the critic score exactly right because you've cheated, that would be 50 points.
I don't know. That sounds like you should lose all your points.
If there's actual cheating involved. But of course, you're a man of great character. So I can only assume thus far we've done this with The Time Traveler's Wife.
Yep.
Where Brian scored a whopping 7 points. Midnight in Paris is his big score. He got 22 points. And then we did About Time, 2 points. Predestination, where he got 18 points. Most recently, we did Frequency, where he got 17 points. And when we did Free Jack, he got 0 points.
All right, so I just have to beat his score on Free
You
Jack.
have to beat 0, and you'll be in second place. All right, well, are you ready to play on Demolition Man?
Yes, let's do this.
All right, let's do it. First off, do you believe this to be a certified fresh movie? Now, that would require 75% or better by critic score.
No, I do not think it did that.
It was not certified fresh.
There, that's a point. I've already beaten Free Jack.
No, I haven't told you the score yet. Okay. Second question. Which is higher, the audience score or the critics score?
I think for this one, it's got to be the audience scores higher. I imagine this is the kind of movie where critics don't like it and audiences love it.
Yeah, what's your thinking behind that?
It's a stupid action movie, and I know critics don't tend to love stupid action movies. I mean, yeah, it's got social satire that critics might like, but some of that social satire is not really there.
It gets lost, right?
And yeah, it does. It gets lost in a lot of silliness, and critics don't have a lot of patience for silliness.
That's true. Yeah. Not only lost, but almost seemingly kind of weak. Like, is it really there?
Yeah,
or are
true.
we just kind of projecting? You know what I mean?
It's almost all on the shoulders of one Dennis Leary rant, you know?
The whole movie is carried by Wesley Snipes. I mean, let's be honest.
True.
I mean, the movie rests on his shoulder pads. Okay, so what is your guess, Eric, for the critics' score?
Now, I have given this a lot of thought. Probably more than I should.
Ever since I told you not to look at it.
Yes, and I didn't look. I swear I didn't look. I'm going to say it's got to be below 50. So I'm going to say 45. That's my guess.
45% for the critics. All right. And you said that the audience score would be higher than that 45%. So what are you feeling?
I mean, this is tricky because I know this movie has a great reputation from people who remember it. People love this movie, but I'm trying to think back to the 90s. Was it really that popular then? And
well, that's okay. Well, I'll give you a little hint here. Rotten Tomatoes wasn't around.
That's a good point.
So, I mean, actually kind of take that into consideration if you want. Like all of these things would be aggregated from probably like DVD viewings or
right.
You know, I don't know if that makes the score better or worse or how that would actually affect it.
I got to think. I'm going to say, I think it's got to be between like 70 and 90. So I'm going to say 80 because that's like perfect little 10 either way. So,
okay. So that's it for the questions. Here we go. Is this a certified fresh movie? The answer, Eric said no. The answer? See, then I put in a sound effect, some kind of sound effect on the big board. That's what the game showed me. Survey says, no, this is not certified fresh.
That's right. $5 for you.
That was definitely the answer I was the most confident of.
Yeah. So, okay. So one relatively easy point there. Okay. And you said that the audience score would be higher in this instance. And once again, you're correct.
Hooray!
So ring up 2 more points for Eric. Here's where we get into the bad news, Mr. Magill. Okay. So the critics score, you said 45%. Survey said 64%.
No way, really?
Yeah,
Critics liked it a lot more than I thought they would.
Yeah, it's a red tomato. So that is even outside the 10% required to score a point. A big goose egg. And the audience score, which you now know should be higher than 64%, you said 80%. Survey said 67%.
Oh my god.
So you're out of the 10% there too.
Oh, that's a lot lower than I thought.
I know, right? I'm finding probably most difficult when the audience score and the critic score are like right next to each other.
Yeah, they're like neck and neck. That's
a big surprise. 64 and 67 in this instance. So you're walking away with 3 points, which honestly, I can't tell you whether that's good or bad.
Don't have enough sample size yet.
Because I do not have a sample size or a very good selection of players. It's really just been Brian. If it makes you feel any better, you beat his free jack score, his about time score. Well, those two.
I'm happy with that. Sure.
That's good enough. Good enough. Maybe we'll do this again if it seems to catch on. We'll see. But I'm not going to let you go just yet. We usually kind of round this off reading some user reviews off of Rotten Tomatoes. I try to find the worst ones that I can. But honestly, with 67%, it was like you have to get like 3.5 to 4 stars repeatedly to get it 67%, which don't make for the best.
They're not like really mean and they're not really, really nice. So it's kind
of so it was kind of hard to find anybody that gave it a super low score or a crazy high score. But there were a couple. 2 stars from an anonymous user. A chore to sit through. Because everyone except Stallone and Snipes being total losers.
Was this written by an alpha chat of some sort?
I think there's a reason they're anonymous. Sandra Bullock is so obnoxious, not even the cheesy action you'd expect from this kind of movie can save it, because in between the action scenes, you have to listen to people say the stupidest shit ever. Almost like they're embarrassed to say it. Even the warden from the Shawshank prison is a wuss in this film. It would have been so much better had the film's plot been Stallone trying to capture Snipes in 1993 LA.
He clearly missed the entire point of the movie.
I was going to say that last line just makes it ridiculous. The other stuff is opinion, which, okay, fine, but that's what you do to fix the movie?
Take out the plot?
Take out the gimmick and then have that movie take place in the present.
That would just be like, and Wesley Snipes and Stallone, like, just chasing each other in LA in 93. That sounds like a direct-to-video movie.
Yeah. Well, not that this is... these days, this would be streaming same-day release, I feel.
Probably, yes. But it's definitely better than Red Notice. I'll give you that.
Here's one that's also anonymous. 1 1/2 stars. Am I wrong in thinking this is a bad Verhoeven ripoff? Stallone, what more needs to be said? That's the end of the review, but does this feel like a Verhoeven ripoff?
It doesn't have nearly enough hyper violence and there's no tits. So no, it doesn't feel like a Verhoeven movie.
I mean, I think maybe they're kind of trying to lean towards that satire idea.
Maybe a little bit. Maybe he's trying to think that Stallone was trying to rip off Total Recall or something. I can almost see that because, Stallone and Schwarzenegger were having that battle for ever.
Yeah.
I think they even reference it in the movie. There's even like a dig about Schwarzenegger being president.
Yeah, about being president. Exactly.
I have in fact perused some newsreels from the Schwarzenegger library, and that time that you took that car.
Hold it. The Schwarzenegger library?
Yes, the Schwarzenegger Presidential Library. Wasn't he an actor when
Stop. He was president?
Yes. Even though he was not born in this country, his popularity at the time caused the 61st Amendment, which states that...
I don't want to know. President.
I don't really see it. I kind of like, if you watched them back to back, I don't think you'd find as many similarities as you think.
Are you a fan of Verhoeven?
I'm a fan of some Verhoeven. I will never forgive him for Starship Troopers, but that's only because I'm a purist and I've read the book. And
Oh, okay. I was
like
going to say, I really like Starship Troopers. I didn't.
Most people do. I know my opinion is the minority. So,
well, that's one of the movies that I grew to like because when I saw it the first time, I was too young to get it.
Right.
I kind of understood the stuff that's beating you over the head, like the obvious reels of war propaganda, but it also had Denise Richards and Casper Van Dien, and they were all terrible actors, and it was just like they were so bad that I just kind of thought the movie was bad. But I can kind of look past that and even sort of incorporate it into the idea of the movie now.
It's one of those movies where if it wasn't Starship Troopers, if it was like its own thing, it had nothing to do with the novel, I could see myself liking it. Like the whole, Verhoeven send up of fascism and all that stuff. I dig that. That's great. That's fine. And from Verhoeven, who lived through fascism, makes perfect sense.
Right.
That's my one sore spot. And then like his later work, you get into Hollow Man, and that has a very egregious rape scene that I can't forgive.
Oh, okay. That one I don't know. That's the Kevin Bacon
Invisible Man movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
It has some good ideas, but then it goes completely off the rails and has a rape scene that serves no purpose other than to just be there, and it's gross, and I don't like it.
That seems awkward. That seems strange.
And anyway. So like I like some of his earlier work. I love RoboCop. RoboCop is one of my favorite 80s movies of all time. I love Total Recall.
Yeah, I mean
great movie.
Yeah. RoboCop is one of the few movies I would call perfect.
Pretty much, yeah. I think I said something along those lines in my review of it on my channel, The Unapologetic Geek.
I thought I stole that from somewhere.
I don't think I said those exact words, but I'm pretty sure I said something along those lines.
I really just get all my film criticism from Eric and transfer it.
There are worse places to get it, yeah.
One, I'll admit, I really wish Brian was here for, because any listener out there that actually takes the time to listen to these bonus episodes will remember reviewer Thiago S. Now, Thiago S gave one of the most broken English reviews of Midnight in Paris and gave it just the worst review. 1/2 star.
1.5 star.
Weak movie. The script is bad. The scenes are bad. The cast is weak. And no one helps to improve this movie. The story is weak. And the movie should have much better relevant scenes to make the movie good, with weak romance.
If only they had made the movie good.
And less weak. And he just kept using the same language over. Oh, it's a weak movie. It's a weak script. The actors are weak. And the movie is bad. So when I came across Thiago S, I had to read it on the air, and I hope, Brian, if you're now listening to this, I hope you'll enjoy it. Thiago S gives it 1 star. So-so film. The script is weak. The scenes are so-so. The cast is good, but almost no one helps. The story is weak. And the film doesn't have a single relevant scene for the film to be good.
What? What does that even mean?
I don't know, but Thiago is quickly becoming one of my favorite reviewers.
It is a weak movie.
It's a weak movie. And the worst possible review that I could find on Rotten Tomatoes is 1/2 star from Harsh C. Harsh C.
Like the letter C, or
the
like
letter C.
The ocean?
Yeah. No, the letter C. Harsh says, if you have the choice between this movie and another movie, watch the other one.
So it's worse than every other movie.
That's a good review. I like that. Simple, to the point. If you have a choice between this movie and another movie, it's the other movie.
Points for pithiness, yeah.
Oh boy. Well, Eric, I appreciate you coming on and playing this little game. I really appreciate you being on the podcast last week.
No, it's fun. Yeah.
Brian is off at the Heroes Con comic book convention this weekend.
I don't know if I'd consider myself a comic book fan, but I like comic books. I'll say that. Like, if you give me a comic book, I will read it and I will enjoy it. And I know enough about, especially Marvel, because that's the comic book store I worked at, was a Marvel comic book store.
Disney World or something. You worked in the...
It was Universal, yeah.
Universal, okay. In Islands of Adventure?
Islands of Adventure, that's correct.
Okay, all right.
While we're on the subject, I did have a fun experience at Islands of Adventure. Like, every night I'd have to walk past the Hulk roller coaster. And one night as I'm walking past, they're like, hey, we got to test some things out. You want to run a circuit? I had no idea what that meant, but I said, sure, whatever. Yeah. I just thought it was like, you get to take the Hulk ride for free, you know?
Yeah, right. That's what I would think.
Apparently a circuit is when you run it 6 times in a row without stopping. So I was on the Hulk for 6 spins all the way through without stopping. And I felt like I really needed to lie down.
Yeah, I've ridden that coaster, and if I remember correctly, I rode it well after my roller coaster days. There's an age that you hit where suddenly, you know, roller coasters maybe not be something you want to be doing. The thought of
it just makes my back hurt. You know?
Yeah, I'm just now thinking, like, I remember it kind of rattled my head back and forth, and I'm like, this is not pleasant. I remember when these were fun. But
Hulk has this intro where like you're going up like a normal roller coaster, tick 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 tick, you know, and then it suddenly out of the blue shoots you like while you're still pointed up, like shoots you out of a gun, basically takes you by surprise. And one day I went to Islands of Adventure with my brother and a girl. And the girl was sitting between us, and my brother was distracting her while this was happening. She had her hand on my leg. I still have scars from where her nails dug into my thigh.
Wow. So you grew up around theme parks, didn't you?
Yeah, I grew up in Orlando. I grew up around Islands of Adventure, Universal Studios, Disney, SeaWorld, you know, the whole 9 yards.
So you grew up in Orlando and never went to MegaCon? I guess you...
Nope, never went to MegaCon.
That's a comic book convention that I went to pretty regularly. This one that Brian's at, probably doing an art auction right now.
Oh.
And then MegaCon. Both of those were a good traveling distance by car for me, where I'm based.
Yeah, I don't remember when I did my first Comic-Con, or like any kind of comic convention, not actual Comic-Con. I've never been there. But I've done a couple of little comic book conventions here and there.
Yeah.
But I didn't get into comics until I was older, like until I was in my late teens and working at Universal. Before then, like all my friends were into comic books, and I was the guy like, whatever. It just became ironic amongst my group of friends that of all of us, I was the one who wound up working in a comic book store.
Appreciate you coming on and doing this. I hope we can collaborate again. I know there's not a whole lot on the horizon, but if you ever need me and Brian to come in and pipe up on something, I'll hope you'll reach out.
Okay. Yeah, I will. Definitely.
All right. There's such a wide spectrum of things that we can actually cover on our podcast. Is there a particular thing that you might be interested in talking about?
I like time travel movies that are a little bit more like grounded in reality. I think we talked briefly about Primer on the pod last time. Movies like that I really dig. There's a foreign language movie from like the early 2000s called The House at the End of Time, which I really like. It's
The House at the End of Time.
Yeah, you gotta look. I think it's like Spanish or something.
Oh. Am I going to have to read it?
You're going to have to read. I'm sorry.
I was just about to put that on the list, but fuck that. Brian's got a running tally, so I'm sure we'll find something to have you on again.
Absolutely. Yeah.
All right.
Call me anytime. And if you need somebody to pick up the slack on one of these bonus episodes, I'm here.
Hey, man. Don't think I won't reach out.
Okay.
Sounds good. I didn't even open my olives.
Oh, no.
Our work is done. I move we adjourn.
Thanks a lot, you shit brain.
You are fine. Johnston, you are Johnston. You are fine. For repeated violations of the verbal morality statute.
So much for the seashells. I'll see you in a few minutes.